my heart. I was once stuck in Frozen too. Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
So Vivian,
what is that amazing music?
Oh my God, I love it.
You're post LBI Elite Weekend, Vivian, and you have been in the ocean at night and crazy stuff happening and cheering on people on. What is happening? Take us in.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to The Real Raw, everyone. This is the place where we get to see and experience how influence is a superpower. The Real Raw offers us a chance to have a microphone, a stage, form ecosystems, make more money with less time, with more magic, and all thanks to Sean Callagy's formula, the formula that he's been curating for over 23 years. So Sean Callagy, welcome, and everyone that's here, welcome to The Real Raw.
Yeah, welcome to The Real Raw. Let's hit it with some amazing people, Vivian. We'll talk more about the weekend and get to know some of these amazing folks or say hello again. So yeah.
Okay, we have contestant Jeremiah Manedo. I hear that he might be from Detroit. President of J-Man Seminars. He specializes in helping people overcome their fears, think outside the box, and adopt new technology to their businesses, regardless of their tech expertise or generational differences. He's also associate broker with Manedo team at Remax Realty Group in Rochester, New York, and works alongside a team of real estate superheroes. So welcome, Jeremiah Manedo.
Jeremiah, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. And where are you physically in the world today?
I am physically in Rochester, New York, in my office.
All right. Awesomeness. And how about a fun fact, Jeremiah?
Fun fact is I have 3 middle names. Nobody would ever guess them if I gave you 100 tries.
All right. So lay it on us. Would you mind?
Well, my full name, I'm Hispanic, so we actually ran out of space on the birth certificate, but it's Jeremias Rajendra Rocky Perez Manedo. So my 3 middle names are Rajendra, who was the doctor that delivered me, Rocky, which is my father's name, and then Perez, which is my mom's maiden name.
Dropping in, Vivian. We have, yes, we have.
We got Rocky in the house. That's all I heard.
Okay.
All right. Jeremiah, Rocky, what's up, brother? Welcome. And by the way, I love the fact that you work with a bunch of superheroes. Vivian, but yes, there's more.
There's more. We have George E. Viton Gruba III, real estate bankruptcy foreclosure defense attorney in Monmouth County, Central New Jersey. He's the attorney at his own firm, Viton Gruba Law, which you can see in the background. For the past decade, with a team of 8 employees, he focuses in the areas of bankruptcy, real estate, and foreclosure defense. George loves the challenge of solving complicated puzzles to get his clients their desired outcome, including adoption, a puzzle he solved for himself, and is passionate in championing adoption law for others, including the LGBTQ community. So welcome, George Viton Gruba.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, welcome aboard, George. And how are things, sir?
Things are crazy, man. Real estate's insane in New Jersey. Everybody's trying to get out of New York. Everybody from North Jersey is trying to get out of North Jersey. And then everybody realizes that taxes suck. So then they try to get out of the state altogether.
George, drop it down. How about a fun fact, George?
A fun fact. In my baby book, my first word is fuck.
I do remember that.
Okay.
And George, I will share this fun fact that as people are burning their fear in the flames, just about 50 yards from where I am right now, my oceanfront house, at around midnight on Sunday night, and had just jumped into the pre-hurricane Atlantic Ocean in amazing groups of people being tossed around like bowling pins. The F word came out about 787 times in about 10 minutes from that entire amazing group of people who, by the way, George, the next day ate 128 scoops of ice cream, 16 Pop-Tarts, 8 brownies, and had multiple cans of whipped cream. That is a true fact from this weekend.
How many cases of diabetes?
The diabetes for there, Dr. Vin and other amazing functional medicine practitioners were on the scene to create transfusions and administer insulin and detoxing processes. So George, thank you for being here. Yes. And Vivian, back to you.
What a children's book that is. I love it. So we have George Victoria Grinman. Victoria Grinman is the founder of Growing Kind Minds, a private practice that serves children, adolescent families, and groups that provides a platform to share resources, information, and tools. She's a doctoral candidate, and her research focuses on trauma, post-traumatic growth, resilience, and parenting and autism. She's a lecturer for her alma mater, Columbia U, and Boston College in the graduate programs. And her passion is to support parents so that they can, and couples, so that they can become the best version of themselves and their loved ones. So welcome, Victoria.
Hello, Victoria.
You're
How
on
are you?
mute, darling.
Hello. Thank you.
Hitting us with a wave of awesome energy. Victoria, where are you coming from today?
New York.
Is in
Great Neck.
Manhattan?
I'm in my office.
In Manhattan or otherwise?
I'm in Great Neck right now in my suite. Taking some clients face to face, weathering that. Yeah.
Beautiful. And Columbia undergrad, or was it grad school?
It was grad school. I know you went to Columbia as well too, Sean.
Look at that, Victoria, dropping in with that. Yes. So we are Lion brethren, right? And, pleasure. How about a fun fact?
Fun fact is my birthday just passed on the 12th, and I went surfing on the morning of my birthday for the first time in my life, and it was awesome.
Boom. High fist bump. We had people surfing in the hurricanes this past weekend. It would have been amazing, Victoria, for you to join us, as we have people from all over the world, doing some surfing, including maybe, just maybe, one of the other judges today, Victoria.
Cool. Who?
You'll see in a second.
Dr. David.
He raised his hand. He couldn't help it.
We call him.
I was there to witness him.
Yes, he's dubbed himself AD. Victoria, we'll drop back in on that in a minute.
Fagan is our next judge, which I just love, David Fagan. What? I didn't hear you, Sean.
I said, yeah, please. Who's next?
Oh, okay. Maybe I think my connection is a little faulty. David Fagan is your go-to guy to become a best-selling, world-changing, money-making icon in your industry through publishing, publicity, and presentations. Former CEO of Guerrilla Marketing, which sold over 23 million books in 62 languages all over the world, Sean, and is the former owner of LCO Communications, a Beverly Hills PR firm that, represented 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy winners, and 43 New York Times bestsellers. Plus, he's been featured on Fox and Friends, The Today Show, The Washington Post, Forbes, Investors Business Daily, Your World with Neil Cavuto, Fox It's a 5, and What's Happening Now, just to name a few. He's won major awards for publishing, publicity, and including Entrepreneur Educator of the Year Award from Inc. 500 Infusionsoft. And David is also a best-selling author of several books, including Word Genius, What to Say and How to Say It, plus Guerrilla Parenting, The Icon Code, From Invisible to Invincible. And of course, he's an international speaker in places as far away as Dubai, Bangladesh, Kenya, and Australia, sharing the stage with everyone from former Secretary of Defense, Dr. Bob Gates, to Mark Victor Hansen. So welcome, David.
David, dropping in with some amazingness, brother. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Man, Vivian, that is the best anybody has ever presented my bio before. I got to get that on recording or something like that. I got to get just that.
Is anybody better, David, than Vivian at interviewing people?
No. You're fortunate to have Vivian, but it totally makes sense that you would have her. You guys are a match made in heaven. I've tried to steal her away from all kinds of people and all kinds of projects, but I just can't seem to do it. She's amazing.
Yes. Well, if you jump in the ocean at midnight in the middle of a hurricane, you can keep Vivian on the team as well, David. So next time we need you here with us, please. David, this past weekend, we had pirate ships, we had chicken wings, we had people crying, laughing. We started content at 10 p.m. after ice cream parties. Like it was truly epic. But yeah. David, brother, seriously, you're back.
It's the halfway birthday, the 6-month mark between my kid's next birthday. So 13 years and about 6 months ago, I actually delivered one of my children because we were not able to get to the hospital fast enough. Wow. She had the baby in 17 minutes. I delivered it in the tub. I cut the cord. I delivered the placenta. I don't want to gross you guys out, but I did all of those things late on a Saturday night. And it went so well, and they were so tired. The baby was so healthy. We didn't even go into the hospital till Monday. We just stayed home Saturday night, stayed in bed on Sunday. We walked into the hospital on Monday, and people were like, what happened? Like, oh, I delivered the baby on Saturday night.
So I didn't know that when I said Dr. Fagan by mistake that I was right.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I was actually going to give something else. When you said Dr. Fagan, I thought, well, shoot, why don't we just share this story?
Not only is David Fagan like an international rock star,
Mhm.
best-selling author, he's also an obstetrician. OBGYN David Fagan.
I don't recommend it. I don't recommend this. It's not something I would encourage people to do. It was a very risky maneuver. I had to do it, but yes.
Weren't you scared shitless?
Vivian dropping the S word on the Real Raw.
Yeah, I was there. This was child number 7. I have 8 children.
Wow.
So this was further down the line. So I've cut some cords and caught some babies before. So it was a little bit. Everyone was at home birth. Everyone was midwife. Everyone was. So I'd had a little bit more practice, but yes, still very scared.
All right, good. Because you just
Best-selling book number 74 from David Fagan, How to Deliver a Child as a Doctor When You're Not One. Vivian, back to you.
Hey, I saved myself a lot of money as an entrepreneur who pays a lot of things out of pocket. I saved myself a lot of money.
Yes, you did. That'll be in your book. Dr. David Ajibade, whom I call the voice of Star Trek because your voice is amazing. Dr. David Ajibade. Dayo is your middle name, or is it Dayo? Or Dayo? You're like, yes, but I can't hear you because you're on mute. Anyway, Dayo. He is the executive director of the Brain and Body Foundation, an organization based in both the USA and Nigeria focused on reversing brain disorders in children and adults. You see, for the past 20 years, he has been studying how the mind and body work and how to optimize their performance through nutraceuticals, which he believes is the gateway to help all kinds of diseases and health issues from mental to neurological. As a military man who served as a cadet at the Nigerian Defense Academy, 41 RC, he is committed to finding ways to help soldiers in all aspects of PTSD. And Dr. Ajibade hosts a weekly TV show on Africa's largest television network called Your Health in Your Hands, where he talks about mental health, brain disorders, and other health issues that affect the Nigerian population. Plus, every Friday, he offers a free clinic to help underprivileged Nigerians with severe mental disorders free of charge. So welcome, Dr. David Ajibade.
AD.
Oh, wow. That wasn't on my profile. I don't know where you dug all some of that from. That's amazing. That's crazy. Wow. I'm impressed, Vivian.
David, it
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure, brother. It's been a whole 24 hours since you were kidnapped and brought to my home. But how are
That's right. Yes, and I've been kidnapped again by no other than Adam Gugino. I can see right there. What a weekend. What an experience. I tell you, man, I wouldn't have traded it for anything. Of course, I wasn't expecting it at all, but somehow it happened. And I tell you what, I really appreciate it. And thanks, Sean, for that wonderful experience.
Yeah, so David, like on Monday of last week, would you have been expecting across the weekend to be surfing in New Jersey in pre-hurricane waters with 60 people you don't know? Was that like what you're expecting when you woke up last Monday?
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm probably the first Nigerian to do that. I think I am. Because I was like going to, I don't know if you heard this, but I woke up the next morning after I got there and I was like, I was looking around and I said, I don't see any black person on this island. And then Courtney, who did the kidnapping, said, there's no telling what we do to black people here. So just watch your back.
I'm not even going near any of this conversation. This is unsanctioned by Dr. David. Reading it.
Well, by all means, you have to understand that we were the only people there. So that you were the first. There was Patricia, and there you have it. So it's a time of quarantine.
Dr. David,
Yes, sir.
Other than our group of people, right, our Unblinded elite, were there any other human beings that you saw go into the ocean this weekend?
No, I did not see anybody crazy enough to do that.
So, Dr. David, and you did it at night, and you're here, and you live to tell about it. So, and thank you for all you do in the world to save children, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Vivian, throw a role player at me,
Please.
Oh my goodness, Chris Abaziz is in the house with a massive microphone ready to chime in and role play.
You like my
Founder
microphone?
and Chief Value Officer of Dream Key Consulting. As a consultant, coach, and trainer, he helps business owners lead, gain leverage, and optimize their businesses so they can optimize their life. He's also the co-founder of Sky Limitless Media, a video production company, and is the creator of and host of Local Unlocked, an internet series about small local businesses. So welcome, Chris Abaziz.
Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, Chris, welcome back, brother. How are you?
Every day above ground's a good day.
All right, awesome, man. A fun fact, sir?
I'm running out of fun facts. I'm a hot sauce connoisseur.
Yes.
Since I just bought some hot sauce, I just figured I'd throw that out there. I'm thinking about it.
How many Scovilles from your latest hot sauce? Any idea?
Well, these ones that I bought today, I'm not sure, but it's I have one in my fridge right now that's 650,000 Scoville units. It's just ready to go.
If you see Chris, Vivian yawning, please don't be offended, because Vivian dropped in this weekend taking a mouthful, not a mouthful, but a full bite and taste of. You ready for this? What do I say right now that you'd be impressed? Like you're a connoisseur. I'm not saying
is it a pepper?
Nope, just it was a hot sauce. Yeah,
a hot sauce.
So what would you go with, like an amount of Scovilles that would impress a connoisseur like yourself?
That would be really spicy.
Yeah.
A million.
Vivian, do you remember what the number was?
Did you say it was 3 million?
3 million Scovilles. Vivian was dropping in with this weekend, Chris.
Wow. What kind of pepper?
Ludicrous. I'm not sure. It's ludicrous hot sauce from the chicken or the egg. It's been on Man versus Food. It's a staple of Long Beach Island. So 3 million Scovilles is their claim.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's very, very spicy.
Woman versus food here in the house.
Boom, Vivian. Dishing it.
Did you start hallucinating? Did you start hallucinating with that hot sauce?
I mean, I didn't even wince.
It's like that Simpsons episode when Homer eats that pepper and he starts seeing stuff. It's really cool.
Vivian was wandering around, Chris, for the next 3 days. I don't even know what happened. It was like she was hallucinogens. It was like plant-based medicine, Long Beach Island version with ludicrous hot sauce. Thank you very much. It is what day is it? I'm like lost. Why Wednesday on the Real Raw? Because we went all the way into Tuesday with our event from the weekend. So Chris, thank you for being here. Vivian, you're a straight up rock star. The amount of love, kindness, compassion, connectivity that you create every day here and all weekend at Unblinded Elite was truly incredible. And I love you and thank you so much.
I love you, and all those things are you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. All right. Chris, we got some amazing people. George, Jeremiah. We got the amazing Victoria, David, Dr. David. Crazy people. So George and Jeremiah is how it works. We're here to unlock the superpower of influence, because when we have that superpower of influence, we can make the world a greater place. We could also make our lives different. We could also have things for the people that we love in contribution and money and time, freedom. All of those things come with integrous, heart-centered influence and knowing what to do with it. So I'm going to ask you, Jeremiah, if you wouldn't mind, I have a 1 or a 2 under the table. What do you think it is?
2.
It is a 2. You have won the toss, and you can elect to go first.
Defer to the second half.
Defer in the second half. Awesome. Dropping right in, and George, right under the bus with you. You go. So, George, who would you like Chris to be? Somebody that you would like to go from hello to yes with. Just an avatar in general. Chris could be himself. Could be an ideal client avatar, or even a specific person. Could be a client. Again, it could be a strategic partner, could be somebody like David Fagan to get you an incredible book deal and do something super cool like that. So who would you like Chris to be, George?
So I would like Chris to be John Heath, who is the directing attorney for Lexington Law Credit Repair Services.
I skipped a whole lot of school.
Boy, that was like dropping with some awesomeness, George. That is a man that has a plan right there. So the name is John. And John runs a credit reporting firm that represents a credit reporting agency, correct?
Yeah, credit repair company.
A credit repair company. So he's the attorney, John, Chris, right? Credit repair company. Sound good, Chris?
Sounds good to me.
All right. And George, you have a 6-minute conversation that's going to be split in half. So it's not 2 different ones. It's an extended conversation for 6 minutes. The first half is about connecting and opening listening, however you want to open listening. And I get it. Sometimes you got to drop the lightning bolt to open listening, but it's the opening of listening and putting something at stake in round 1 for Chris as John. And then the second round is like who you are, what you're doing, and the ultimate yes. Sound good, sir?
Sounds good.
All right, George, take us in. You got 3 minutes.
Hi, John. How are
Yeah.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for answering that post I put out on LinkedIn. I'm so happy to connect with you.
Great. Yeah, my pleasure.
I want to start with a little story. 16 years ago, you really inspired where my law practice has gone. I personally used your credit repair services to repair all of those college indiscretions when I ignored my debt and let people chase me around. I found your company on a recommendation from a friend, and your service was really, really instrumental in me repairing my credit and being able to buy my first house.
Awesome. I'm glad you found it useful.
Yeah, and it's great because over the last 16 years, I spent some time as first a collection attorney, and then I have a practice now that focuses on real estate and bankruptcy. And from that practice, I use a lot of those tools that your firm uses to help my clients get themselves in a position to buy that house or to recover from the derogatories that have made their lives very, very difficult. And it's great that I basically learned that from hiring your service all those years ago.
Oh, awesome. That means a lot to me.
John, the thing I was really thinking about when it came to your service, though, is there's a spot where you guys can go only so far with removing these derogatories from people's reports and negotiating out some of the settlements. And I know that door generally ends when we get to litigation. And since you're a company that's nationally based, I've looked it up and I know that you don't really have a presence from the litigation side in New Jersey. I wanted to see if there's any way we could collaborate on some projects, and maybe I can help the people that need to use the law in order to fix their issues.
It's a possibility. I'd like to hear more about how that works.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure we could have a couple of conversations with you and any of the members of your team that would have to be engaged to see how that collaboration would look. I've got plenty of information about my background. We've done podcasts on this and published many articles that talk about credit repair, debt negotiation, and how to get people on the up and up that I think are very well aligned with your company.
Oh, so I'd love to take a look at some of that stuff.
That's wonderful. Would it be okay if we scheduled a follow-up on this?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Guys, I apologize. I don't have a countdown, so I'm guessing on my 3 minutes in my brain.
You got about 30 seconds to go.
Shit, I'm talking way too fucking fast. John, you got any knock-knock jokes?
No knock jokes that we could say on the public air.
So, I saw when I was reading through your bio that you did a study abroad program while you were in law school. Did you actually graduate from Seton Hall?
I did.
It's like 25 minutes up the road from me. That's great. Small world.
Excellent.
How do you find
New
yourself
Jersey.
in Salt Lake City?
I like to ski.
Oh, that's awesome. I suck at skiing, but we'll go with that.
All right, 5 seconds to go, round one.
Well, John, thank you so much. I'm going to reach out to your secretary and find some good times that work for you and your key team so we can continue this dialogue.
Oh, perfect.
All right, George, your fun energy is present. And Chris, how'd that feel for you?
It felt good. I was disappointed that George didn't drop any F-bombs during the conversation, but then he did. But no, it felt good. It was something that's not my world, not my familiar territory. And it was real easy to understand what George was offering.
All right, brother. And what's your favorite ski mountain out in Utah?
I don't know. I've never been there.
I think you're in Salt Lake City, though, right?
No, he is now.
He means John. The person I was being role playing is in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, his role player. I was showing that I'd actually done a little bit of research on the guy.
Gotcha.
So I wasn't just winging.
I'm in Jupiter now, via New York.
That's amazing. How long is that space flight?
It's quite some time, but I teleported here. It's
you
the
have
only
a
way to get
fucking
around.
teleporter? Why aren't we selling those?
Jeremiah, are you ready for round one? Awesome job, George.
Yeah.
Okay, and who would you like Chris to be?
Oh, Chris. Chris, I want you to be Jay Farner. He is the CEO for Quicken Loans, the #1 mortgage company in America.
All right, Jeremiah, you got 3 minutes. You'll hear an alarm with a minute to go, 30 seconds to go and done. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. Jay from Quicken, here we go.
Hi, Jay. This is Jeremiah J-Man Monero calling from J-Man Speaks. Thanks for taking my call. How you doing today, buddy?
No problem. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Now, I understand you're very busy. This conversation is going to take less than 3 minutes. I respect your time. CEO, first of all, just to get on the phone with me. I don't know if you remember, but I met you and Wendy at the Detroit Lions game that one time. I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan. Remember I had the funny Bills hat? And
Oh, yeah, of course. How can you forget that?
We were crushing you guys, and I was still very empathetic that your team might win. Who knows? But I've been working with Quicken for a long time, and I'm an international speaker. I speak on video, social media, technology, and I'm rolling out a new program. It's called, how to get over yourself and connect better with your clients using video. And I wanted to talk to you because I want to start at the top. I know that relationships matter to you more than transactions, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I know that I have 2 boys, 5 and 10. I'm actually locking myself in my office now so that they're not banging on the door saying, "Daddy, what do you?" Just to have this quick conversation. And you have 3 kids, right? 2 boys
Yes.
and a girl, I believe. And so let's start there. Forget about business for a second. Like how has the pandemic been for you? Like I get like Quicken's doing a lot of things with forbearance and helping people who are, kind of in a challenging situation. But how's the family?
Everybody's good, adapted quickly, and things are getting back to normal.
Normal? Are they going to school? Like actually in school?
Yeah, they just started.
Oh, like I thought if my kids weren't going back to school, you'd find me on the Brooklyn Bridge today. Like I can't take it anymore. There's a lot of things that I'm good at, but being a teacher for my children is definitely not one of them. But this is what I wanted to talk to you about. So with this program, I was actually in a couple commercials for you guys as well. You may not remember because they're at the bottom of the pile for commercials that didn't perform well and that people didn't like. And what I notice is like, you guys have a good sense of humor. You're great at technology, but when I have interactions with your loan originators, they care more about the transaction than they do the relationship. And so I'm willing to get on a plane tomorrow morning, either tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, if that's better for you. It's a direct flight from Rochester to Detroit. I promise I won't take more than 3 minutes of your time, but I feel like something in a program of this importance should be brought up face to face. So is tomorrow morning good or tomorrow afternoon better for you, Jay?
Well, I'd like to, if you can shoot me over an email, I'd like to review some things more just to see what it's more about what you're talking about. Look into it a bit.
An email. All right.
Actually, you're going to bounce right back in a minute, Jay, okay?
All right.
All right, awesome. So how did that feel for you, Jeremiah?
I started shooting the breeze more because I felt like I had more time because the last time I only had 3 minutes and I'm like 3 and 3. So I was like, okay, we can chat more, but then I ran out of time.
You didn't run out of time. You have 3 more minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I felt like it was okay.
All right.
I'm never really happy.
All right. How about Chris, from you through round 1? What was present for you? Just overall, George and Jeremiah.
It was good. Well, I got the message from both of them. They're easy to talk to, and I wanted to hear more. So
cool. All right, we'll drop in on round 2. Victoria, how are you?
I am amazing.
All right, your energy is infectious and present. Thank you for that. And yeah, let's drop in with about 30 seconds of feedback, starting with George. 15-second kind of bullets on what worked, 15 seconds on what might be optimized. Victoria, please take it away.
Sure. Okay. George, so you were super fun and super warm, and I love the energy that you brought in first. It was really a nice match. Really warm start. I love how you used acknowledgement. That was really great and really draws someone in to know that you know them, right? And I like that. And you really had a great deal of building rapport. Connect. I would have loved to see, though, just you connect with him more about him. And I know that there was obviously 3 minutes, but just connect with him more about him and ask him about what's really lacking for him. Like, what's his pain point from his point of view, in addition to what you notice. Maybe ask a little bit more questions. And in the closing, would have loved to see to close with a specific time to talk. I don't think that happened, but that would have been great. But overall, it was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How about a score, Victoria?
8.8.
Nice. And for Jeremiah?
For Jeremiah, wow, super fun and funny for sure. Definitely great at building rapport, I can tell, with anybody that you talk to. I loved when you went in with relationships matter more than transactions, because how could they not, right? Like, how could somebody not say that that's true? And I loved that you had done that. I would have loved you to check in a little bit more. And when you shared with him about what's at stake, that was awesome. But it would have been nicer to see if you could have gotten there quicker. So that you would have had a little bit more time to really like have it marinate in that, and then close with, I really want to talk to you, at the end. But overall, I give it also an 8.8. It was great.
All right. Awesome job, Victoria. David Fagan, what do you have, sir, for George?
Yeah, I thought George did a great job with the story, implying the recommendation, shows connection. The overall connection was really good. He looked to schedule a follow-up, looked like he had good research. Obviously, we know that people are always very flattered by the research, someone taking time to kind of know who they are, what they do. He took a personal interest. I thought there was a lot of good things. Good tone, didn't seem too rushed. Didn't seem, going for the jugular or, desperate for a sale. So that's always really good. Probably the only thing, and this is obviously very tough to do in 3 minutes, but just you'd want to see him, maybe get him talking a little bit more, which again is risky when you have 3 minutes, because you ask a question, you don't know, are they going to answer with 15 seconds or 50 seconds or what? But yeah, I still think the idea would be to, really get them engaged in the conversation, get them sharing, get them responding, and, maybe even, pausing for an extra second, to give them some time. And then if they did say something, it didn't say very much, maybe there's a little bit of a follow-up of, tell me a little bit more about that. Overall, I'd still give it an 8.5. Excellent.
And what'd you have for Jeremiah, please?
Yeah, Jeremiah, I like how he had the time set. He did kind of the sports relating. I thought it was kind of a risky move to kind of poke fun with the sports stuff, but it can work with the right guy and right personality. If that was me, I don't know. I thought that was a pretty ballsy move there. A lot of testicular fortitude in that one. Good personal connection.
Ready to deliver a baby.
Used a couple of really good tie downs, not asking the question, but saying how it is with ends that, not does this make sense? Makes sense, right? These kinds of tie downs. So some good language patterns. Overall, kind of similar thing. Love to still see him, get him talking a little more. Love to see him kind of express a little bit more of a problem or a challenge. Overall, I'd give it a 7.9.
Nice. Thank you, sir. And Dr. David, how are you doing, man?
Doing great. Enjoying every minute.
All right, awesome. Hey, would you mind dropping in with some feedback for George?
Absolutely. And I'm glad, Sean, you let me go last, because I'm sort of new to this and I'm learning a lot over the last few days. So, George, you did a great job with your energy. The fun was there. You engaged him. You didn't ask us as many questions as I would have liked, though. and I know I'm going straight into the what you could have done better, but I'll switch back in a minute. You see, the research was great. You have done a lot about understanding what he does and how he does it. But again, it would have been great if you had asked a few more questions, get him talking a little bit, get him engaged. Also, in terms of what you wanted to present or what you wanted to show, I didn't really. I know you mentioned it, but if you had been more succinct, as in this is what we see ourselves doing with you, and how we can help your organization. If that had stood out a little bit more, I think that would have been great. So fun energy was great. Questions a little bit. Some needed some help. I like the fact that you gave some good validation about what he is doing and what he has been doing over the past few years that are in line with what you feel are important.
Awesome. What'd you have for score, Dr. David?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What did you have for a score?
8.5.
Nice. And how about for Jeremiah?
Jeremiah, loved the fun energy too. You asked a lot. You asked more questions. You really focus on the commonality. I like the fact that you acknowledge that this is a busy person. I mean, you chose. Heck, how did you even get to speak to the head of Quicken, for instance? Like the fact that you found out and you acknowledge that he is really busy, and but you were comfortable about the whole situation. So that was good. You listened well. And of course, like I said, you asked questions. Again, in your case too, because you're asking to speak to his organization. And a lot of people ask those to speak to their organizations because they're so big. So it would have been better if you had been more succinct about what you have to offer that is different from what everybody else is trying to bring to the table. So,
and would you have for scripts?
You say score would be a 9.
All right. Thank you, Dr. David.
Sean, I'd like to jump in. Sean, Adam, I would like to jump in real quick.
It's like the voice from the Beyond. Oh, it's Adam Gugino. Adam Gugino's in the house. This dude did between 50 million and 100 million phone calls a year under his purview, taking a company from $4 million to $750 million. Yes, I said 4 million to 750 million, 8,500 magazines, 3 consecutive years. And he walked away from millions of dollars to take this formula to the world. AG, what's up?
Well, I'll say this weekend proved that to be the best decision of my entire life, without question, worth every single penny to walk away from. And with that, it was the content, of course, that I could say that about, but the added fun energy and the irony of today's Real Raw, which is why I wanted to jump in, was that through the R&D laboratory over the last 130 or 40 episodes, as well as the weekend, I think you chose to create a lot of fun energy, because that's what we've found has really lacked in business and these role plays. So today, these two gentlemen, fine gentlemen here, have so much fun energy, and I just wanted to really, really point that out. I would have definitely preferred a little bit more depth in the questioning to connect with Chris overall as my assessment on that side, but the fun energy was out of this world. So I just wanted to point.
You want to know what a straight up lunatic Adam Gugino is? No joke. He's in a 75 hard challenge. Whose challenge is that? Who put that out, Adam?
Andy Frisella, 75 days straight.
Yeah. So when we were done, he was at 4 a.m. doing his workout to keep his consistency. And he was like on day 52 a few weeks ago, fell asleep, didn't finish his gallon of water. And the only person on the planet that would know that, because people knew he was at day 52, was Adam. He started over. I mean, just straight up rock star. Love you, brother. Amazing job.
Thank you.
And thanks for jumping in. All right.
Thank you.
So round 2, Jeremiah, are you ready? Because Jay is back.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. Round 2, 3 minutes and taking him to a yes. Take it away, sir.
Ding, 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 ding. Jay, guess what? I just got notification from your secretary. Your next appointment was rescheduled. And I know that you said you wanted me to send you an email, but I mean, do we really? We're both, I mean, you're an ex, I'm a millennial. We're kind of on the cusp here. We don't read emails anyways, right? You probably have somebody that reads your emails for you and decides like, this is no good. I'm probably not going to ever get through to your inbox. So here's, let me just tell you a little bit more about what I want to do, because it's not about making money. What I'm trying to do is change the lives of your entire organization. What I mean is the quality of life for every single person that works there. Is that something you'd be interested in?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't be interested in something like that?
So here's how committed I am to it, because I feel like, like I said, when I thought we were going to get off the phone, but we're into overtime here. The my last interaction with one of your loan originators, they were like, "Do you know how much I sell? I'm a top agent, and this is what," and I'm like, I don't care about that. To me, it doesn't matter how much you sell. People don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. The old Zig Ziglarism that I'm sure you're familiar with. I've seen you quote it before.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm willing. I'd like to roll this program out for all of your loan originators on how to connect better with video. Like I said, it's called Get Over Yourself. Get over yourself already. I know it's a New York thing, but I think Detroit can fall in line with us New Yorkers. And I'm willing to do it. Like I said before, I will hop on a plane. I will send you a video of what I'm talking about. If you feel that it's not worth it, I will be in the air on my way there, and you can feel free to then take one of your people and make them the gatekeeper. So I'll never get to see you. Right. And secondarily, I know that it's within your budget, because I'm willing to do this for 30 days for free. Okay. So if you don't see value in it, if you don't see a culture shift within your people, then you don't have to pay me a thing. I know that's definitely a line item in your budget. 0, right? So it's, do you think you could take maybe 6 minutes during your lunch break tomorrow? I'll bring lunch. I know where your office is located. Maybe we can play basketball over there on the 34th floor, where I know you have that court. I'm not very good, but maybe horse.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see. I'd hate for you to waste the trip. I'd love to see more about what you're doing. With the details of the program.
I would never see it as a waste of a trip. It's more of an investment in the relationship. If you feel like you don't have the time to see me, or you don't value that, I can send you a ton of information, but really what we buy into, just like you do, is it's the people. And so if we can talk face to face, I can really explain that. Again, it's not about the money. It's about the relationship. 6 minutes tomorrow during lunch. What do you think?
Okay, sounds good to me. How can I say no to that?
Thanks, Chris. All right.
Thanks, Jay. See you soon.
All right, Jeremiah, love the persistence and consistency. So is this a real scenario that you're up to in the world?
Will be.
Yeah, really. Really.
If you can get the guy on the phone.
Yeah, excellent. And if I ask, like, what is the outcome? So they say yes, I'm gonna have your ultimate outcome from the situation will be what?
I get to train all their people.
Yeah, awesome. And so just tell like irresistible offer wise, what do you think the outcomes? You train their people, and what happens?
Culture shift. They care more about the relationship than the transaction. Their relationships improve with agents. In turn, their reputation improves within the industry, because they don't really have a great reputation with agents as far as like perception. Things have changed in the last few years, but agents don't forget stuff that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And if it's for me, like if I like Chris and he's my loan originator and he messes up a deal, it's a deal. It doesn't matter. I like Chris.
Yeah.
We're still going to do another transaction. Where if you're all about the transaction and you mess up a deal, we're done. Like, we're not going to work together, and I'll never forget you as long as you live.
Amen. Well, excellent work. We'll drop in a couple of quick thoughts. Great job. Love the vision. Making the world a greater place is what Jeremiah is up to. George, you ready for round 2?
Mute first. Maybe you should take mute off before you start. Fuck.
George.
Time to laugh. All right.
George, you're awesome, dude. All right, take us in 3 minutes, please.
So, John, let me tell you where I think my vision goes with this. And I'm going to start with a leap, right? In 2019, you deleted 1.5 million derogatories from people's credit. You and I come from that same cloth where we like to help the little guy. We like to get people to a point where they can feel normal citizens in this country and do all the big dreams, buy the nice house, buy the nice car, or you wouldn't have gotten into this area of law. Is that true?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You spent 16 years building this company with that vision, and I really appreciate how far you've pulled it. And what I notice is you've branched out into litigation services in about a dozen states. And what I'd like to offer in terms of my services for your team is I'd like to help join with you to start spearheading a New Jersey movement. You have this in New York, but you don't have it in a neighboring state. And frankly, we have a lot of the same issues and the same financial distress issues going on in New Jersey that are happening there. I think I can offer a free service to all of the New Jersey clients that you already help. We'll give them a free bankruptcy consultation if there are things that you can't remove from the derogatory, to see if I can give them another path towards financial stability. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in?
Sure, yeah. I'd like to hear more about that.
And I'll give you part two of it, because I think this is also really important. When you're dealing with bankruptcy, we have to get people out of that bankruptcy and back to being homeowners within 2 to 4 years. And the feds allow us to do that. But part of that is also going back and removing some of those derogatories and helping build people's credit score back up. This is a program where the people you refer to me in order to use bankruptcy as the path to recovery, I can instantly send right back to you after the bankruptcy, so we can monitor the credit, delete the derogatories that still weren't fixed through the bankruptcy, and get them towards home ownership within 2 to 4 years. I think this is synergistic both ways. It'll help me, but it'll help you guys show another facet to all of your existing clients.
That's an interesting idea.
You know, I know that you're going to be at the annual conference in New York next month. I hope that I've shown you enough as to where we can go with this, that I'd like to get on your calendar, sit down for 10 minutes and see what we can do to turn this into a real program. It's going to take us some time, but over the next 3 to 6 months, we should be able to roll out a pilot program and test some of your New Jersey people with it.
Yeah, I'd like to, see what we can do with it and know more about what's involved and, the long-term goals around that.
I think this would be was that the 3 minute?
Yeah, but good. You have 10 seconds. Sure.
Yeah, I think this would be a great synergy for both of us. And I would be so excited to work with you and your team.
Well, let's get together.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
Sounds good.
John.
Thank you, George. Thank you, George.
Name. I lost him at the name.
George, great job. So, quick thought before dropping with the judges. So, the theory that we hold here at Unblinded and have a lot of data to prove that this works and is real is fundamentally the question is, are we connecting head to head or heart to heart? And for some people, when we talk heart to heart, it feels sort of like mushy, woo-woo, like hippie-ish, sort of like Haight-Ashbury meets Woodstock. But conversely, the messaging from people, when it comes through like into people and their body and they're feeling it and they're not feeling like they're making a decision and a battle over like their default no, a lot of things shift. So I want to just, drop in and see, Jeremiah, how something like this feels, related to like the Quicken folks. So would you mind, Jeremiah, role playing with me for a minute?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, and the CEO is Jay, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So let's say 3 minutes. Jay, super thankful for you taking the 3 minutes for this call today. I know your time is precious and I know people are chasing all over the planet. So I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So Jay, what I believe is critically important in any conversation is making sure I have like clear optics on what you're looking to do. And I'm presuming in this conversation that you want to see Quicken continue to grow and expand, and that's your charge and mission, and that predominantly you want to do it integriously, but that's what you want to do. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. What else is present for you in that?
Well, it's, making a difference in the Detroit metro area. We came in right at the crash of the of 2008, and part of that whole revitalization that happened in downtown Detroit was due to our company, Bedrock. You know.
Yeah. So thank you for that. And I was actually believing that, hoping to hear that. And so in the final 2 minutes I have of your time to see if it will be worth you spending 15 more minutes with me, I have one question. And you've done such an unbelievable job in accelerating, over the last number of years and having the truth revealed about who you are and your people are. But if I could show you a way to increase how much your team, your people love people, would you see that as something valuable for Quicken?
Yes.
Yeah. And because fundamentally, I think what we're talking about, right, is how people care about people. And when you tell me you want to see that shift in Detroit, I didn't hear you saying it because you want to see the economic shift. What I heard from you is a human being in your heart that wanted to see good things happen for the people of Detroit. And I could be wrong, but was I hearing that correctly?
That's correct.
Yeah. And could I ask you, I know I got like a minute to go, but why? What drives you? What's it about for you that makes you care about the people of Detroit and doing the right thing in the world? Because that's what I'm hearing.
I mean, just born and raised here, right? This is my home.
Awesome. And a lot of people were born and raised there, but why do you care about people so much?
Well, because I have the ability to make a difference. So why shouldn't I?
Right.
I feel like it's my duty to give back, to help others. If I have the means and the opportunity, then that's what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, I acknowledge you for that because most people are interested in return on dollars, and I'm clearly hearing your heart-centeredness. So from that place, and with some unique optics into how some people feel about the agents that you've clearly grown in their mastery of connecting with people, I think there's an extraordinary opportunity. And if you gave me the privilege of 15 minutes as somebody who has changed companies across the country in terms of loving and caring about others, and the bottom line byproduct, not only economically, but also fun and magic for people at work and the impact on the entire customer base, I'm clear, Jay, that not only would it impact the people of Detroit, but how Quicken is perceived in cities and with people around the world, or at least across the country. Would that be worth 15 minutes of your time? And if it doesn't work, throw me out of your office, right all over the internet, that is a complete waste of time and I'm a liar. If in those 15 minutes you don't see that I have something truly special for you.
Sounds great.
All right, Jeremiah, how'd that feel for you?
Felt fantastic. I'm waiting for you to walk through my door.
No, for real. I mean,
really. You found my heart. If I was Jay, and what really mattered most to me, you allowed me to say it rather than me say it for you. And then listened to it, and then we connected.
All right.
Because, yeah.
And from me to you, like, you're amazing, right? Already. This is recorded, and I really hope you make that move and make that happen quicken. I love the vision of what you're doing. So yeah, all my best.
Thank you.
Victoria, how are you? And what do you have for, let's go Jeremiah, and then we'll go George.
I am so fantastic. Jeremiah, I work with people all day. I am a therapist, and I can just tell how much you love what you do and how important it is for you to help this person get his business and his workers to, do what they love, which is supporting other people. And I just want to tell you, it's amazing. For me, this time around, what I thought was great was you were still fun. You were still showing that you were a risk taker and making some of the comments that you were making, right? I would have loved, and I love that you shared about what was important to you. More check-ins and more pauses. And I think, like Sean said, I actually wrote it down. Ask him what it is for him that he notices. You told him a lot of the issues that you notice, but what is it that he notices? And also, there was clarity there, but what was missing for me was, I felt like, if I'm using Sean's distinction of dilution, there was dilution of the significance of what you are actually offering him. What you're offering him, and I wrote this down, I would have loved to see you amplify the importance of your shared mission with him about wanting to help his people do inherently what they want to do, which is connect with people, and have him tell you that that's important to him, and then connect to his heart through that. And I think once you have that and someone's dropped down there, there's, it's a sell, because how could he not want your service? And I think that's where the sell is. And then I would just close with, the acknowledgement and then the joke about, hey, if you think this is still a waste of time after you talk to me, then you could just throw me out. And that would be more of like a joke, but it wouldn't be invalidating the significance of what you're sharing with him, because it's so important. So I thought it was great. The score I would give, I'm so bad with scores. I'm a professor, so I'm like all rubrics out. I would give an 8.5.
Feel your heart, Victoria. Beautiful job. And how about
Thank you.
George? And Victoria, what'd you have for George?
Oh. Feels like an hour ago, George. Hey, George. Okay. I have to get back to what you were doing. Okay, I remember. Okay. So checking in with, again, it's very similar. I think one thing that I'm present to is just how much you love what you're doing and you want to share that. But again, what's important was checking in with him on what he's wanting, what he's seeing. The clarity was good about what the offer was. And then when he said to you, yeah, I think that's a really great idea. I think he said, I would find that interesting. I would have loved to see, what about it did you find interesting? And then have him tell you what it is that he found interesting, and then utilize that to really get to the heart of what was there for him about your share. And again, I would have loved to see you close with a good time that you would speak with him, just so it would like be in the books and really on both of your minds in the forefront.
All right, awesome. And a score?
An 8.6.
Nice. All right. David Fagan, what 30 seconds of feedback do you have for Jeremiah, please?
Can I do them both at the same time?
Absolutely, brother.
Because there's so many good things that were very similar, and you guys both have great, both do so many of the things right. It was really fun to watch Sean kind of step in and show the examples and show the specifics. And kind of my comment for both of you is, we really want to create a perception of value, since we already kind of talked about some of the feeling stuff there. And it is really about helping people feel some feelings and to help them move forward. And how do you help them feel that? And one of those things is, what is the perception of value? And it was interesting that both of you guys had these ways or these systems, but it would be great to name it. Like, this is the 100% titanium training program, I know that's not as much feeling, but when there's a name to it, when there's a process to it, just kind of creates a little more of a perception of value. And then something else too is, what kind of results, have you gotten? If I'm kind of considering you, I'm thinking, why you rather than somebody else? I get all these phone calls. So to be able to say, hey, I'm doing this with so-and-so, it's changing lives, it's making them money. I'm doing this with so-and-so, they're seeing a lot of positive effect, it's improving lives, it's making them money. So anyways, a couple quick little things like that. Overall, I would say Jeremiah is about an 8 and George an 8.4.
Beautiful, David. I love the drop in on perception of value, right? I mean, this is what you do in the world. And is it a fair statement that the reason people will do or not do anything is if they consider the perceived value to be higher than it's going to cost them in money, time, and energy? They say no. If they perceive the perceived value to be less than the money, time, and energy investment, they will say yes. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome job.
I want to jump in real fast as well, quickly.
Yeah, take it home, brother. Go.
Yeah. So I don't want us to miss the magic. Truly, with Jeremiah's, where everything was created was in the listening, the depth of listening. When you mentioned what you perceived to be his interest, his interest in the organization. And he gave you back an answer like, yeah. And then you dropped in on that and dove a little deeper and said, what am I hearing? And that's when Jeremiah really opened up to his passion of solving, the issues in Chicago, of course. So I think that's where it all was created and the breakthrough there. And I just want to make sure that that wasn't missed.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, always listening, right? For any micro distinction that will open up, like, because it would be like, well, yeah. And then it's like, keep talking. And now we're out of alignment with the person. So thanks, Adam. That was a great point. Dr. David, quick 30 seconds of feedback, brother, for Jeremiah.
Hey, buddy, you're muted.
No, muted, Dr. David.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Jeremiah's great job again. I like the fact that you were persistent when it seemed like he didn't want to see you in person. You were very nice about it. You said it's not going to take much of his time. You made it clear that you would be offering more value if you were in person present with him in his office. I like also the fact that you created value. You talked about the value of relationships as opposed to just selling them stuff. And I'm sure he too appreciated that, because that's probably a problem that they see all the time. So on those two aspects, you were good. I felt you were a little dragging. At one point, you were dragging a little bit. I said, why what you have to offer is a little different from others. I didn't see that as much. Other than the value aspect, there could have been some more distinction about why you are different from everybody else, and how that offering would make a huge difference. So, it's a great job, really good job. I would at this point, the score would be at 8.5.
Nice. And for George,
I like the fact that George, you brought in what he could do into your location. In other words, you were offering him value. Yes, you wanted his business. Yes, you wanted to work with him. But that aspect about bringing acknowledging that he's expanding in other areas, it's time to expand into the New Jersey area and what you could do for him in his expansion. So that was a really good ecosystem kind of merger right there. Honestly, I think you did an altogether great job. And then, of course, you closed well with trying to get a good time for meeting. So I would give a 9 to George.
Excellent. Well, Dr. thank you. So, George, how was today for you, my friend, as we take it home?
It's amazing, yo. No, you want more than that?
No, yeah. All good. Thank you.
No, it was really good. I really appreciated it. I was on one last week with the 3 minutes. So having 6 minutes threw me a little bit in terms of working with those extra minutes in there. But I felt a little more focused today in terms of asking what I wanted and knowing how to go after it.
Awesome. Well, this is like the TED stage versus the TEDx. So great job, because people were very impressed by you and your acumen, and the fact that your first word in your baby book was fuck. So yeah, like all kinds of super cool things. Awesome job, brother. Thank you. Jeremiah, how was today for you?
It was great. I enjoy doing things that I'm uncomfortable with. I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. So I'm always happy to step in and be able to. I know that one of my biggest challenges is I always like to connect head to head and not get fluffy and into feelings. And so that's one of the things that I'm working on as far as, communicating what I do. It's not transactional. It's what I do and what I feel in my heart. And I think that's what I am going to be working on.
Yeah. And I would just use the word why. If you're always thinking of dropping in the word why, two distinctions for that. Why, and anytime you hear energy in the response of word choice, vocal quality shift, or body language shift, asking questions into it, drops the other person and you into your body. So longer conversation, but awesome job, brother. David Fagan, thank you for your brilliant feedback and for your awesomeness. How was today for you, sir?
I think he may have jumped off, Sean.
Yeah, but he said very good listening, tough work, very evenly matched. Both have a lot of the same good things going on. Nice to meet everyone. That's what, and then drop the microphone.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thanks, George. Victoria, what say you as we take it home?
Oh, I had such a good time. Everybody's so amazing. I'm just present to how important it is to be in our hearts. I'm in my heart a lot. And I'm just floored by you guys. This
Yeah.
was awesome. This was so fun.
Awesome job.
Highlight of my day. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And your energy was definitely felt and appreciated. There's like great magnetic energy when people in their heart. Great job, Victoria. Dr. David, sir.
Yes.
We've gotten to know each other fast and hard, sir. So what say you as we take it home?
It was great. I learned a lot about the importance of research, importance of asking questions, importance of pausing and waiting for answers, and fun. The thing with our profession is that we don't do much where fun is concerned, and I see the difference that can make. Just getting people to feel comfortable and as you ask them questions and to try and engage them. So that's a
You
big
want to go
takeaway
from
for me too.
yes, you saw it all weekend long, Dr. David. Fun is such a valuable dynamic. Fun, heart-centeredness, and goddess energy, aspirational Zeus. Thank you, brother. And Chris, thank you so much again for being here.
My pleasure.
Final words from you today, sir.
It was good. It's good to be on the role-playing listening side after speaking so much. So thanks for having me again, and I'll see you tomorrow again.
All right, man. Appreciate it. So everybody have a beautiful day. If this is the end, heart-centered, integrity-based influence makes the world a greater place. It also helps you make more money and have more free time and some more magic in your life. But hopefully this is only the beginning. So thank you. We'll see you soon.
Bye.